Hello and welcome to Locator Gaming. I'm Zach, and I'm going to start finally my playthrough of Stars of Akarios. I have not been able to do a lot for the channel in the last 2.5 months due to getting COVID, the family getting COVID, other health stuff that's been going on with me. But I took some of that time to paint the minis for this game, and I'm excited to actually start playing it. So I'm just going to dive right in because there's a lot to go over before this first scenario. So the very first thing that it talks about is that we're supposed to be in this 1.1 sector of the Draconian system. I've got this camera zoomed in for the other cards, but you can kind of see this here. And the Sparrow would start here on this, and we're going to actually be going to scenario 1. So that costs us 1 supply from our Sparrow. So the Sparrow goes down from 5 supply to 4. And then we set up the first scenario. But there is a little bit of story to read. So I'm going to go through this story quickly and then talk about the pilot setups that I have. So one note is I'm going to try to play this at the beginning here with 3 pilots. And we'll see how that goes. I might knock it down to 2 if it gets to be a little overwhelming. The reason I'm playing with 3 is with all the other stuff I have still left to play, I don't know when I'm going to be able to get to play through this campaign again and how long from now that's going to be. So I want to see as many of the ships and the pilots and abilities and stuff in action as possible. So I'm going to play with 3 pilots and just try to get more of the content from the game out of this first play. All right, so let's look at the story for scenario 1, the training mission. And I'm going to kind of try to read fast. People who are watching this have probably already heard this story before too, so let's just get through the story here real quick. The briefing room is full of chatter amongst the various cliques present. It's an uncomfortable mix of experienced pilots and trainees and a blend of the different species of the United Intergalactic Alliance. While you scan the room, you recognize a friendly face, a Medelian named Sol. And I'm not exactly sure how you say that planet name either. I think it's Medelia? So Medelian. His name is Sol, or her name. He nods to you with his familiar grin, so it's a he. Welcome to the big time. Don't mess this up, or I won't get to see you looking this uncomfortable at the next briefing. There are smiles all around at the gentle ribbing. Someone congratulates him on his promotion to lieutenant when you're cut off. Captain Soma's entrance isn't dramatic or loud, but her presence brings an end to the chatter in the room. Attention, snaps Captain Soma in her stern Celestian accent. She has no patience for anything less than complete attention. The younger pilots have only ever seen her on news clips. The iron command in Soma's voice stops them cold. When your CO is present, idle chatter ends. Perhaps some of you require more time in training. She shouldn't have had to call the room to attention. Somebody else should have called the room to attention when she walked in. That's how it's supposed to work. She looks pointedly at the recruits who had failed to notice her arrival, and they sink down in their chairs. Not paying attention here and now will cost you out there. And not just you. It could cost the lives of others in this room. She doesn't have to single anyone out this time. I expect conduct that is appropriate of a graduate going forward. You know what it means to be an Akarios Institute graduate, don't you? Yes, Commander, the room replies as one. The best of the best, Soma comments as she turns to the board, the slightest hint of a smile at the corner of her mouth. Today we will introduce students to live flight tests. You'll be doing simulations typical for established pilots. Assessment will be done by the senior pilots in the room, who will monitor from Medelia. As with all of your tests, you'll be reviewed on technical knowledge, problem-solving abilities, and strategic acumen. Soma continues, her tone now a touch softer. You'll have to work together without the assistance of a superior officer. I will be in orbit with a small crew aboard the Sparrow. We will be there to pick you up in case of an emergency. There is a collective intake of breath from around the room. To be monitored by an officer is one thing, but to be assessed by Captain Soma herself is something else entirely. If there are no further questions, you all have your flight times. First group, proceed to the loading hangar and get ready for takeoff. Your flight group is headed toward a crewed station that is to be destination A for training when some hostile units show themselves on the radar. A rattled voice is heard over the radio. Is this part of the simulation, or are those real enemy ships? The Ronin are known to refit any ship that they can get their hands on. However, these are the models that the richest guilds have made for themselves. The richest and most cutthroat. Immediately, Sol reaches out. Pilots, this is not a test. This is the real thing. It looks as though someone has hired Ronin mercenaries to attack one of our satellites. We don't have time to scramble fighters, so it's up to you. Captain Soma continues in her steady tone. Don't worry, you're not alone. Rendezvous with the Sparrow at these coordinates. Stay close so that we can support you. Let's play it safe. Cadets. Then there's a couple learn to play things. So our objective for this scenario, eliminate all enemy ships before they destroy the satellite. And the satellite is Hex A. Enemies are disadvantaged when they attack pilots within 4 range of the Sparrow. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of like this around the Sparrow. If I'm in there, the enemies will get a disadvantage. The Sparrow here will not act and cannot be targeted. The satellite has 10 hull per pilot. So I have 2 10-sided dice, a 3 and a 0 for 30. Enemies can target the satellite. And then we've got our setup for 3 pilots, which gives us 1 elite scout out here. And then I randomly put the numbers out and ended up with 2, 3, 4, and 5 for those. They're all Ronin scouts. And a Ronin scout has 6 hull, no shields, and 2 base attack. So I've got the 4 regulars set up here with 6 hull, and then an elite here with 8 hull, so just 2 more hull. And he's immune to hull breach is what that symbol is. And then the rest of this is your rewards and if you succeed. So we just need to eliminate all of these bad guys before the satellite gets blown up. All right, so who am I playing with here? So I have Violet Ray right here in the Invictus in this ship, which is here. This ship has 4 shield and 4 hull. We're starting at 0 stress. I have given Violet Ray flank as her starting engine upgrade with 3 supply and proton blast as her weapon upgrade. And then, so here's Violet. I've got the minis off to the side for now. Oh, well, let's see. Violet Ray also has a starting level 1 pilot ability. She can add a damage when she has advantage at the cost of a supply. So I've got her supplies all set. Here we have Enver in the, I think this is the Cheris. I wanted to play with this. This was like the bonus ship from the Kickstarter. I'm keeping them flipped over like this so that I can see their max hull and max shields instead of having it the other way, like in case we repair or whatnot. Oop, that should be at 0. All right, let's see what Enver has here. Pilot ability is stem packs. He starts with 2 supply. He can just get advantage no matter where he is. We've got burn and flip, starting with 3 supply and long shot. I'm still on the fence about the effectiveness of this, basically because of this Pierce. I think Pierce is good if you can have a lot of piercing attacks like in a row, or if like one person is targeting somebody. Maybe something that gets its shields recharged somehow. But Pierce seems cool, like when you can say, hey, you go through shields with Pierce, but anybody else who doesn't have Pierce still has to go through those shields. That's why I'm saying you need like a bunch of people with Pierce, I think, for it to be like really cool. I don't know. The Cheris is 4 and 4 also. And then last I have Starla is up here, barely visible, in the Merkava with 6 hull, 2 shields. And I'm planning on her kind of being like my support ship, I guess. So she has self-sacrifice. She takes a hull damage and gives a bolster. Is it bolster or boost? What do they call it in this game? They call it bolster. So that puts a ×2 card into 2 allies within range 3 into their decks. And then we also have as her weapon EMP Blast, which has a stun effect. For 2 dice that are attack dice, she can hit 2 targets within range 3 with EMP Blast, and that'll stun them. It also has a base damage of 1, so they can't attack. And it has 3 supply. I think EMP Blast is pretty cool. It's kind of like a control attack. Control the battlefield a little bit. And then we've got barrel roll. Do a barrel roll for her engine upgrade. Okay, so I'll shuffle the decks when it's the first time to draw from a deck, just so we can start going. I have thought about my placement in my first turn, and my first turn only so far. What I'm going to plan on doing is rolling the dice and then putting them just kind of like here where they're kind of out of the way, and then as I spin them, I'll move them over. Now, I thought of something about this game when you're playing solo, because in the rules it says, like, for multiplayer, people can just go, like just take your turn even when someone else is taking their turn, as long as you're not like interacting with the same thing. So playing solo, I don't know, like I was thinking about, like, in order to simulate that, I could like spin some dice on one ship and then spin some dice on another ship, spin some dice on that ship, instead of like jumping from turn to turn to turn. So that's how I'm going to maybe play it, if I think that would be advantageous. Let me know in the comments down below if you think that that's not how the solo game should be played. And you know what? I don't even remember if it says anything in the solo part of the book. And we'll see if it even comes up. I don't know if it's even going to be advantageous to do that. All right, so let's just start. So the first thing I've got my handy dandy little reference card here. Pilot action, increase shields by 1. Everybody's at max shields. Roll our action dice. All right. I'm going to call that one cocked, even though both sides were wild. Would have been nice. 2 stress dice right out the gate. One stress die here. I'm not too concerned about small amounts of stress. Okay, so like I said, I've already thought about the first turn, and this might be where like the going with one pilot and then the other pilots actually might have some effect. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do self-sacrifice with Starla. So we'll spin a supply off of that, and that's going to get a bolster, or that's going to be a bolster, so we get to put a ×2 into the other 2 pilots' modifier decks. So let's throw it there in the middle. Shuffle this up. And I know I'm covering stuff up with the cards, and I'm covering stuff up with my head on Violet Ray, but there's a lot to try to fit this game on the board. So I'm just trying to get as much in with the overhead camera as I can. All right, and now just so I know that I've got them all shuffled, let's just shuffle Starla's right now. All right, and then this is where I'm going to say, okay, we're doing some simultaneous actions here. All right, so I'm going to have Violet Ray go. She did not get any movement, which is not ideal. I wonder if I should spend one stress to re-roll her dice. Because it would be stress, stress. I'd end up with 2 stress. Let's see how that tactic works. We're going to spend a stress. Is it re-roll all the dice or just whichever dice you want? I think as many dice as you want. Once per pilot action phase, immediately after rolling, you may increase your stress to reroll any number of action dice. Yes, so let's keep our 2 attack here. And just re-roll these 2 stress. All right, that worked out. So we went up only 1 stress instead of 2. Okay, so we're going to spend a movement to go 1, 2, 3. We will spend one of these shooties to rotate. And then we have advantage because we're behind this person and it goes like out from here. We will spend a supply on proximity exploit to give us advantage. I'm sorry, not give us advantage. Give us a +1 because we have advantage from our pilot ability here. And then I'm going to spend these 2 shoots on this basic attack. It goes out 3 and then the 2 next to that. So we're good. And the basic attack with 2 dice gives us 2 damage. So we're sitting at a base of 3 because of our +1 here with advantage. Hey, this is our basic re-roll, or our reshuffle one too. Okay, so 3 times 2 is 6. Wow, that's a good result because that just totally hoses number 2. And we have to shuffle. So far, I only have my modifier cards and my trauma cards sleeved, simply because of the box situation. And the modifier cards, it seems like get shuffled a lot in this game. So I don't want them to just totally wear out. Well, okay then. I was going to gang up on number 2, but now let's gang up on somebody else. We could get advantage on you fairly easily. If I get in, let's see. Yeah, I had really positioned myself to gang up on number 2. So we have burn and flip. We cannot fly through this thing though, because it is a object with hull points. So it kind of blocks everything. I mean, I could use the stim pack to give me advantage, I guess, right? So if I rotate and then go 1, 2, 3, I could basic attack here also. And I have 1 stress. Let's see. I have burn and flip, but I can't get behind this person. If I rotate and then go, and if I burn and flip, I'd be putting my rear right out for this person, because let's see, burn and flip is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Flip, and if I use the stress die to do that, I could rotate to attack here. I guess maybe if I put the Merkava over here to take the hit. Or I could go over there and EMP blast so that they can't shoot. Maybe that's a good idea. Yes, I think we'll do that. Okay, so I'm going to spend this movement die. Oh, then I'm not left with anything really good to shoot with for, I guess not for a lot of damage. Oh well, these are the dice we were dealt. Okay, so I rotate with that die. I'm going to use the stress die here to do, and I got to spin a supply on burn and flip. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flip goes the other way. And then, because I use the stress die, I can do a stress rotate. I will stress rotate 1. I got to put my stress up from using the die. And let's see. Yeah, you can only rotate 1 time on a turn, right? So I don't really need to use stim packs because I'm already at an advantage. So I guess I just do basic attack. It's a base of 1, but I'm at an advantage. Ooh, +2, that's 3. This is ship 3. 1, 2, 3. And do I want to move? I don't think so. So I think we will just stay where we are. Okay, so you've got barrel roll. I need to get within, for my EMP blast, it's range 3. So 1, 2, 3. If I get to this spot right here, barrel roll. Oh, so I need these 2 dice to hit 2 targets with the EMP blast, which seems like the most efficient thing to do, right? I guess I could be anywhere over here for it to work. So if I did the we're gonna do a stress die on the, go like this. So that's a stress. We're gonna use the movement die. Let's see, 1, 2. Nope, I can't barrel roll. I really don't need to barrel roll anyways. I'll go 3 forward. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm within 3 of both of these here. And we will spend a supply on EMP blast. And it's 1 base damage. If there's no pattern, do I get an advantage on this thing here? This is an interesting question. Is it like any attack when you're in the back of it? Or is it only attacks that have like firing arcs? let's see. Advantage is page 15 and page 22. Page 15. Will become advantage if they attack an enemy from behind. If the pilot ship attacks from any of the hexes with a check mark, they are behind and gain advantage. Attacks that do not have a firing mark cannot gain advantage from direction, but can from target lock. Okay, it's directly addressed in the rulebook. I'm glad I looked it up. So, they're both going to be stunned anyways. Okay, so I will start by flipping against number 3. So it's a base of 1 plus 1. That's a bummer. He's got 1 health left. And then this one here, number 4 is 1 times 2 is 2. Both of those ended up being worth 2. All right, so this character here is within the range for the disadvantage protection, but she is so far away from the enemies that it's likely not going to matter. And we do need to remember that these two are stunned. So they can move, but they will not attack. I think we're in a good position to maybe kill both 3 and 4 next turn. All right, so I'm going to call us done. And we will move on. I'm going to shuffle up the Ronin Scout enemy AI deck here. And is that it? Update combat effects, resolve into round effects. Oh wait, draw a card. Yep. Okay. So what do we got here? They're going to rotate and shoot. And if they weren't able to shoot, then they're going to do different stuff. Ooh, directly behind. All right, so we go in order. The elite is first. Who is its target? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the satellite's going to be the target. Rotate towards it. Too far to shoot. And it will move. And oh, it's just going to miss the asteroid. 1, 2, 3. Does it rotate towards it if it can't shoot it? If it can't hit it? I think it does because it'll move towards it, right? Yeah. Yeah, it was not able to shoot, so it moved, and now it'll rotate again. It would try to establish a new target, but the satellite's obviously the closest thing. And shooting is still out of range. Okay, so then we go to 3. Rotate towards it. Can't shoot because it's stunned, so it did not shoot. And it cannot move through it, so I think it stops right there. Yeah, let me know in the comments down below if that's not right, because I'm pretty sure these things that have hull points cannot be moved through. Did not shoot, so it would move. It does not need to rotate again because that's its target. We were further away than the satellite, so the satellite was still the target. And it's stunned, so it still cannot shoot. And now it should be no longer stunned. Is, I believe, the wording on there is at the end of its next turn. These effects should have been like on the back of the book instead of right stab in the middle. The target cannot attack or use weapon upgrades on their next action phase, but may still move, rotate, and use abilities. Use a red cube to track. Yeah, just as on their next action phase. 4. Okay, so Starla is the target. Rotate towards her. Stunned, so cannot shoot. And move. 1, 2. Well, hello. Like that. Now, Enver's the new target. So rotate towards Enver, and still cannot shoot, but then the stun goes away. And then 5. Satellite is still... I'm going to play it kind of smart because I know what its move is. 1, 2, 3. And it's just in range to shoot at the satellite. So they have a base damage of, or a base attack of 2 on their cards. And the attack has a base of 0. But could have hit 2 enemies if there were 2 enemies like around them. All right, so we're at a base attack of 2. -1 is 1. I mean, this satellite has so much health. It's kind of redonkulous. The satellite's within 4 of the sparrow. Enemies are disadvantaged when they attack pilots within range 4 of the sparrow. Not targets. And then I think we go to our turn. So, yeah, there's no end of round effects. Players collect their assigned action dice. I'll just collect them when I roll them. Increase the round marker. I'm not too worried about the round marker. There's no like round tracking for this one. Nobody took a shield hit, so all of our shields are at max, and we'll just go in and roll. 2 movement, 2 shooty shooty. We got 1 stress here. It's not worth spending a stress to reroll 1 stress. And 2 and 2 here. All right, so we're still early. I think I want to try to get Violet Ray closer. Or do I... Let's see, who's only got 1 health left? Number 3's only got 1 health left. If I rotate, then I'm facing that way. Let's see, I could rotate. Four has 4 health left. If I go here, and I'm facing that way with a basic move, and then rotate. No, wait, I need 2 attack dice with EMP Blast to stun 2 targets. I kind of want to use EMP Blast also not for the stun, but for, I mean, it's 1 damage, and this enemy only has 1 health left. I mean, I guess I could rotate. I'd be facing this way. And then I could do that basic move to there, and I'd be within range of both of those and in a good spot to use self-sacrifice. All right, so let's try to get Violet Ray over here to attack number 4 then. Yeah, so let's just do that first. So I want to do this for rotate, boom. No, I'd end up here, wouldn't I? Yes, I would. If I barrel rolled to here, rotate, rotate. No, I still need my two. I need to be able to do this with my two moves. And this one's just a little bit too far away. Rotate, rotate. Facing this way. 1, 2, 3. All right, we'll do that. So rotate, rotate. Basic move, 1, 2, 3. EMP blast. Again. And I'm targeting these two here. We'll start with number 3. So it's a base damage of 1. Yes, base damage of 1. So even though I drew a 0, 3 only had 1 health left. So it's gone. And then number 5, we're doing this to stun you, buddy. So it's 1 damage to 5, but a stun. So you can't shoot. Okay, so now I think I'm going to go down here to Violet Ray. And if I go boom, boom, I can't move through that. So if I rotate and then just 1, 2, 3, I could, I guess, just regular attack 4 with advantage from behind. So we will rotate just 1 regular move. 1, 2, 3. We're too far away. Too bad I didn't have a stress. This is like where I need a stress die, so I could do a stress rotate. Because do my basic move to here, then I get stopped by this satellite. And that number 4 is too far away. So do we pick somebody else? I could try to get number 1 to move through the asteroid field. That seems kind of fun. If I go here, here, and then I'm facing that way, I could go here, here, yeah, I'm going to try this as a tactic and just see what happens. So I'm going to go to the basic movement to go boom, boom. And then you can do that one again. So I can go boom, boom. And there's nobody that I can shoot because I cannot shoot through the asteroid field. Even if I rotate it or anything. Wait a minute. Actually, number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's a line of sight question. It's supposed to be from the front of the hex. Does that count as shooting through the asteroid field? I'm not going to do this shot because I don't think we're in any danger on this mission. But if you know, that'd be interesting to know. Like, so here's the attack I'm looking at. Proton blast. It goes out 4. Oopsie. Sorry, Violet Ray. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then these 3 hexes and these 2 hexes. Could I hit number 5? Because you're not supposed to be able to shoot through asteroid fields. So in line of sight, I don't know if line of sight's where you aim from or what. Yeah, that's an interesting rules question. Interesting. All right, so what do we got here? think number 4 is going to survive. 5 can't shoot, but number 1 can shoot. If I burn and flip, 1, 2, 3, 4, flip over, then this is not the target anymore. I do have my stim packs, so I really don't even need to move if I don't want to. But I should maybe move if I want to use like some long shot. Because it's a base of 3 damage. Basic action doesn't really end up in a good spot. I could take a stress and just stop the movement early. I didn't stun this one. So if Starla becomes the target, this would have advantage against her. She's got a pretty beefy ship. Oh, you know what? I made a mistake. When I did the self-sacrifice, I should have taken the hull damage for that earlier. Well, let's see. I should probably try to set up a long shot. With advantage, and I think it's from here out, right? Not from here. I still remember the page. Page 15. No, it does start there. Well then. No, that's still not great. If I did basic movement, 1, 2, 3, I'm just going to go after the elite guy. Forget number 4. So let's basic movement, 1, 2, 3. And we will use a stress die. Can't hit here, but you can hit the next 3. So we're at 2 stress. I'm going to use a stim pack to get advantage because this is a base damage of 3 with pierce, but it doesn't really matter. So we're at a base damage of 3 and we have an advantage, so we get to draw 2. Plus 1 is 4. So from 8 down to 4. Did I draw that from the right deck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I did not draw that from the right. Oh yeah, Cheris. Yes, I did. Okay. I don't know why I thought it should be that deck up there. So now the only question is, do I want to like rotate or anything? Go somewhere else? I think I'm just going to forego this die again. Okay, let's draw the enemy card. Too bad I couldn't use these shooty dice here. All right, what did we get? So they will rotate and shoot. And then if they were not able to shoot, they will move, rotate, and shoot. It's 1 target with a push. Push, yes. All right, so the elite goes first. Our target is here with the elite guy. So now it actually matters, like, do they rotate if they can't shoot? Because this is like him either rotating to move through the asteroid field or not. If there are multiple spaces, the enemy can rotate to in order to perform their attack on the target. Enemies rotate in order to perform their attack on the target. If an enemy cannot perform their attack after a rotate, they will rotate in a way that their move action will bring them as close to the target as possible. Okay, so I'm still a little bit screwed with that because if he rotated, the move action would take him 1, 2, 3, and he'd be 2 spaces away. Where he's at now, 1, 2, 3, and he's like right next to me. Oh, wait, no. 1, 2, 3, because it's turning the other direction. Okay, so I think this is actually advantageous for me because here's the target. The move, if you rotated to face down, would go and then towards me. So it said they will rotate to do their move action to get as close as possible. And they will move through asteroids and nebulas. 2 movements through an asteroid is 2 damage. Couldn't do the shot, but it will rotate now. You can shoot out of an asteroid field, so now it will shoot. It does not have advantage or anything, so it has a base attack of 3. This is 0, so 3 minus 1 is 2. So that's 2 shields hit on Violet Ray. We have an effect of a push. Okay, so then number 4. Rotate, rotate to shoot. Who is the target? 1, 2, 1, 2. Highest hull is Starla. So it will rotate 1, 2. So when it does its move of 1, 2, and then to here, and then rotate, rotate, and shoot. Fortunately, it only shoots at 1 because both of these are actually in the pattern. No advantage. So this one is a base damage of only 2 because it's a normal. Minus 1 is 1 shield hit. All right, and then a push to here. 5. The target would be the satellite because it has the most hull. We're equidistance away. It cannot shoot because it is stunned. It would move and stop. Still the same target because that's the most hull. Doesn't need to rotate and still can't shoot because of the stun. So we take the stun away. I don't think I lowered the supply when I did the EMP blast. Okay, that's the end of the round. We go to the next round. People who got hit can get a shield back. And we roll dice. That one was kind of cocked, but that's fine. Like I said, I don't think this one's going to be super close. 2 stress. We're sitting at 2 stress already. I don't think a miss is going to be that big of a deal to get added in right now. I mean, maybe we just repair. One wild, 2 attack, and a stress. All right, so what do we got? If we did a burn and a flip, well, this guy's sitting at only 2 health. – 1, 2, 3, 4, flip. 2, 3. Number 5 has only taken 1 damage. I mean, I guess I could just have that set up for next turn. I just don't know how, like, how 1 miss is not that critical, right? So let's just not worry about it. Whoopsie, that was a move. I'm gonna put that on burn and flip. We would go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we get to face this way. And then that takes a supply. 1, 2, 3. Maybe I don't even spend the stress this turn. Just attack with 1 with advantage on basic attack. Yes, so we're at a base of 1. We will not do the miss, so it's 1 more damage on 5. And we have to shuffle. I think we're good back there. That was not even the right character. Ah, shoot. That was not the right character. Go back to where you were. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Burn and flip. Still advantage. Fixed. You were that character. Oh, it's too bad we're not like 1 position farther back. We could flank. So flank has a 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, I need to be 1 more up to hit 2. I guess we could just try to take out 5. Yeah, let's just do it. So we're going to flank. Flank gives us 1, 2, 3, and then you go here and then here like this. Proton Blast would give me a base damage of 2. How far out does it? Oh no, I can't shoot through the asteroid. This only hits 1. That's okay. So we will use Proton Blast. Oh no, still the wrong spot to hit number 4. 2 dice on Proton Blast. Only hits number 5. We are advantaged from behind. 5 has 4 health. You know what? Let's use our exploit because we have advantage. So that's going to give us a base damage of 3 with advantage. 3 times 2 is 6, so kablooey. And that's just the regular shuffle one. It's not the bolstered one that gets tossed. I've got 1 more shot, but nobody to shoot with it. And my stress on the Cheris, I can't really do anything with that either. All right, so what do you want to do, Starla? That's amazing. You could EMP blast 1 more time, as a matter of fact. I screwed up again and didn't take that hull hit when I EMP blasted last time. Oh no, wait, that's not EMP blast, that's self-sacrifice. Sorry, oops. So I think we will just move up and EMP blast. if I just move up 1, 2, 3. We will use our last EMP blast, these 2 dice. Or is this guy not hittable because it would be going through the asteroid hex? Oh, that's a good question. One, two, three. Is there another way I can get there? If I rotate, nope. And I guess I could stop short. Let's just attack. I will rotate to face number 4, and I will basic attack for 2 base damage against this guy with not having advantage. So 2 minus 2 is 0, and that didn't work out. That's okay. That's our turn. Ronin Scouts. These guys like to do this move. I think this is the exact same card as last time, but turning in the opposite direction. All right, so let's walk through this. This is closest target because he's only 2, and the satellite is 3. He cannot rotate to shoot because it would be through the asteroid field, but he could rotate 1, 2 like this, and then his movement will get him closer to the target. 1, 2 like this. He cannot rotate and shoot me, but I think he would rotate to like eliminate the advantage, like the immediate advantage. He flew through an asteroid field. It feels kind of weird, but they do say in the rules that they're going to do weird stuff. That's just like the dog fighting that's happening. So this one would definitely rotate, and take a shot. It's 0, but a base of 2, so he's sitting at 2. And that's here, so 2 shields down with a push effect. He did shoot, and then he would move. Boom, boom. Yeah, 1, 2. He doesn't get a new target on the move because he's not like rotating or anything. It's just the direction that the card says. Yeah, so that's another like weird dogfight result, I guess. Okay, next round we get some shields back. We're already up there, and I just realized my plan of having these cards. I think I'm gonna try to find a different cube to like block off for the maximum. I guess I could use black. We got plenty of black cubes. All right. 2 move, 2 attack. 2 stress, 2 attack. Man, Enver has been dealing with a lot of stress. Must be like time to pay the bills or something at Enver's house. Who's in a good position? Violet Ray's in a good position right behind number 4. But not super great, I guess. Because Oh, you know what though? Let's do this. We're going to do this little maneuver where we get to go boom, boom. Right, it's forward 1 and then turn, yes. And then we're going to rotate 1, 2. Yeah, and now I've got a good proton blast shot with 2 enemies. We have advantage on this one, so we can get an extra damage if we want to, and we will. We'll use our last exploit thing there. So we're sitting at a base of 3 damage on this attack with advantage, so let's just pull that one first. 1, 2 cards, base of 3. Hey, we got both of the times 2s. What would you do in like a more difficult scenario? Do I get to pick which one and then this one goes? I think this one, when this one gets pulled, it's done for, no matter what. Used or not. So a base of 3 is like 6 damage, so super dead, number 4. And then shuffle. I think this is going to be over, so I'm not going to worry about shuffling right now. I'm just going to leave that out to remind myself. So Violet Ray is done. Now we've got Enver in the Cheris there. The elite ship only has 1 hit point left, so let's not even dwell too much on this. Let's use a stress actually up here on the Merkava to go boom, boom. And then we will use 2 of these. This is 2 damage. 1, 2, 3 out, but not a advantage. +1 is 3 damage. Boom. Very much so a training mission. Where's our scenario book? All right. Move over here, Sparrow. Success. It takes a few seconds to seek in once the last Ronin ship is gone. Such is the adrenaline coursing through you. Your anxiety swings into jubilation. As a result, you don't immediately notice the call over the radio. Cadets, to the Sparrow. Post haste. We have a problem. Cadets, acknowledge. All right, so we get a reward of 5 credits. We can choose and equip 1 tech upgrade from cards 1 through 6. That's cool, and then go to the conclusion. I'm probably gonna do this tech upgrade off camera, and then I'll show you guys next time which ones I picked. Conclusion, your ships turn back to join the Sparrow, and in the distance, flashes of light catch your eye near Medelia. One after another, an armada of huge Rathan capital ships enters orbit near the planet. Then, more distant flashes. Weapons fire? The Sparrow promptly issues its commands. Cadets, get back here now. Medelia is under attack, and it's not going well. We're leading the retreat. Surely there's time to fight back. Go to choice. Continued on next page. Okay, so now we have a choice. We can regroup at the Sparrow. We would go to scenario 2. Or we can ignore the Sparrow and go to Medelia, which would be home base, go to scenario 3. Cadets to the Sparrow, post haste, we have a problem. I think as cadets they would go back to the Sparrow because that's what they were told to do. Ignore the Sparrow and go to Medelia. We're going to regroup at the Sparrow. So we will go to scenario 2, which I will start next time because I want to pick my tech upgrades. Tech upgrades 1 through 6, and I will show you what I picked. Okay, cool. I have been really looking forward to playing Stars of Akarios. I really like the spatial aspect of the different kinds of movements and attacks, where to end up. I'm not sure how tactical the game's going to be because you don't get to see what the enemy's doing before you decide where to go and where to end up. We'll see how that plays out. I liked the 3 characters. There was that one time where I picked the wrong ship, but that was me just probably trying to go too fast and not paying that much attention. And I'll get used to who has what and who's who on the board. yeah, okay, there you go. That's scenario 1, the training mission. Obviously quite easy, designed to be a training mission. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoy everything that I posted in the past on the channel. I will be posting soon on the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.